Hey y'all, Adam the Exacto Guru here. Apparently, my channel continues to be about my journey into Celtic paganism. I want to touch on something that's been asked of me by a friend recently. There are multiple different Celtic traditions, and I happen to identify with and am working to most closely practice that of the Irish Gaelic Celts. I feel most connected to my ancestors through this practice, and that has led me to begin interacting with a new deity. Today I'll be discussing Bres, and I hope you bear with me. He was one of the kings of the Tuatha Dé, a race of supernatural beings in the Irish tradition. I will cover these races in a future video as well. He was born to Elatha, prince of the Fomorians, and Ere, princess of the Tuatha Dé. Bres became king of the Tuatha Dé after the first battle of Mag Tyrant rendered King Nuada incapable of leading. Bres then was wed to Breed, fathering 3 children with her, whom I mentioned in my video on Breed, and which I will link in the description. Bres was seen by the Celts to be beautiful and skilled, yet inhospitable and traitorous. His beauty and skill earned him his position as ruler, yet upon becoming ruler, he lacked the traits required to allow his kingdom to flourish. Given that his father was Fomorian, Bres forced his Tuatha Dé people to pay tribute to them, working as slaves. He had the Dagda digging trenches, and Agma was made to carry firewood, for example. He also neglected the customs of his people, one bard complaining that his knife was not greased, and his breath did not smell of ale, would go on to write Ireland's first satirical poem. Upon hearing the poem, the spirits of the Tuatha Dé were kindled. They banded behind the restored Nuada and fought back against their oppressive ruler. The coup was successful and Nuada was restored as king. Bres, left to languish in exile, turned to his father, pleading for assistance in regaining the throne. Elatha responded that his son had no right to gain by injustice that which he could not keep through justice. While not directly assisting his son, Elatha did send Bres to Baelor, the warrior tyrant, for the aid he sought. Receiving help from Baelor, Bres then led the Fomorians to defeat in the second battle of Mag Tyrant. He was found unguarded on the battlefield by Luch. Bres pleaded for his life, begging Luch to spare him. Luch's condition was that Bres would instruct the Tuatha Dé in the practice of agriculture. Bres acquiesced to the demand and was spared, at least temporarily. Once the Tuatha Dé had become proficient in agriculture, Luch sought his vengeance for the treatment of his people. He had a series of casks in the shape of 300 wooden cows built, which he filled with a poisonous drink. The concoction was then milked into pails and offered to Bres, who was honor-bound to accept and consume. Knowing that the beverage was poison, he drank it down without hesitation and fell to his death. The thing I find most fascinating about the story of Bres is it demonstrates that gods can have mortality. He would have then returned to the afterlife and resided there with the ancestors. I'll be discussing the Celtic beliefs about the afterlife in my next video in preparation for Samhain. I imagine you are asking why I would bother to pay worship to a god who exhibits aspects of a tyrant. I feel there are valuable lessons which can be gained from this. Through Bres' story, we can teach that it is important to respect the humanity of others, even if it is for self-serving ends. We also learn that not even the deities support an overlord, and would expect us, as followers, to stand against one. By paying homage to Bres, I feel that I am being shown how to not only be aware of these personalities, but to protect myself and others against them. His story also shows that while a deity may have negative qualities, they should not be viewed as inherently evil. The offerings I've found, which are appropriate for Bres, are grains and alcohol. This is because he is viewed as the Irish god of agriculture. In this regard, I prefer to offer whole grains and mead or beer if I can. Being the wife of Briad, I have also found that he prefers to come when I perform evening praxis, while I am lighting candles to his wife. It's intriguing to me that the god of agriculture has chosen to interact with me, given that I live in a huge agricultural centre of Canada, and my family has a background in farming. While I did not grow up on a farm, I've always enjoyed the time I've spent at family and friends' farms. There is something deeply spiritual to me about being near the food production of my country, while having no desire to take on the role myself. Well, those are my thoughts. If you've stuck with me this far, thank you. I hope you've enjoyed this, and if you have, please don't forget to like, subscribe, and ring that bell so I can keep sharing my journey with you. For now, I'm the Exacto Guru, reminding you to be excellent to each other.